Zillow. Whether you've bought or sold a house in the last 15 years, it's probably a website you've heard of. You might have heard some not so great things about Zillow in the news recently. So, what happened with Zillow? To explore that, let's go back to the beginning. Zillow was conceived by former Microsoft executives Richard Barton and Lloyd Frank in 2004. They believed they could leverage available data and use algorithmic analysis to transform the real estate market. They launched their website in 2006, and it quickly became one of the go-to sites for estimates on home values, or Zestimates. At the beginning, the Zestimates were a bit rough and could be off by as much as 14% of what homes actually sold for. Over time, they refined their algorithm to point that it was usually 2 to 7% of homes' actual sale price. Today, the site receives about 1 billion visits per month. But how does a website offering free Zestimates make money? In the beginning, one of their main sources of money, like most websites, was ad revenue. They added to that Zillow Rental Manager, which allows renters to pay their landlord through Zillow, with Zillow collecting a fee along the way. They also charge real estate agents referral fees through a program called Zillow Flex. Since they are so ubiquitous in the industry, many buyers start with Zillow, and when they're ready to start making offers, Zillow refers them to an agent who has signed up with Zillow Flex. When the deal closes, the agent pays Zillow a referral fee. However, none of these three business models is why Zillow was recently in the news. In 2018, Zillow entered the iBuyer market with Zillow Offers. iBuyer currently makes up only about 1% of home sale nationwide, so you may have never heard of it before. It's the term that has come to mean a company that buys houses nearly sight unseen based on algorithms. The company then generally makes cosmetic updates and resells them. If you've seen the show Flip or Flop on HGTV, it's basically that concept, except instead of an LA power couple looking for deals, it's a computer making the offers. Zillow CEO Richard Barton thought that with the Zestimate algorithms, they were well suited to dive into the iBuyer market, predicting that Zillow Offers could become a $20 billion a year business. At the beginning, they were cautious. When a homeowner was interested, Zillow would have a local real estate agent estimate a value alongside their algorithm. Then a team within the company would have to sign off before an offer was made. That process, though less prone to error, was too slow, so as time went on, they eliminated the safeguards and relied more on their algorithm. The algorithm looks at historical data, so as the housing market began to really heat up, they found that their algorithm was behind the market trends and no longer making competitive offers. They were still expecting normal growth, but prices were going up faster than they could predict. To counter this, they adjusted their algorithm to anticipate values rising faster, and it worked. From July to September of this year, Zillow bought almost 10,000 homes, more than double that it had purchased the previous quarter. But they weren't really prepared for the influx of homes they now owned. They tried to compensate by hiring an additional 2,500 people in 2021, a 45% increase, but they couldn't process the houses fast enough. Between mortgage interest, taxes, insurance, and supply chain issues that slowed remodeling, Zillow was holding onto houses longer than they wanted or anticipated. Additionally, house values were no longer going up as quickly as their algorithm was forecasting. They had too many homes. The homes weren't worth as much as they expected, and they had already invested in upgrading them. CEO and founder Richard Barton was quoted saying, "We've determined the unpredictability in forecasting home prices far exceeds what we anticipated." On October 17th, they announced they wouldn't buy any more houses for the rest of the year. The next day, their stock fell by 9%. But more time wouldn't solve the biggest issue. In a hurry to grow in a competitive market, they overpaid for too many homes. By some estimates, 60% of the homes were underwater by about 4%. On November 2nd, Zillow announced it was getting out of the iBuyer business and laying off 25% of their workforce. Fundamentally, we have been unable to predict future pricing of homes to a level of accuracy that makes this a safe business to be in, said Richard Barton. He went on to say, "We could blame the current losses on exogenous market events, but it would be naive to predict that unpredictable events won't happen in the future." In the third quarter of 2020, Zillow had a $40 million profit. This year, in their third quarter, they had a loss of $330 million. So where does that leave Zillow today? The revenue sources they began with, ads and rental and referral fees, are still in place. The question that remains is how much confidence the public will have in their Zestimates. The Zestimate proved too unreliable to run their iBuyer business. but homeowners' confidence may remain. Only time will tell. When Zillow offers started, they trusted real estate agents like me to help determine their true value of homes. If you're considering selling your home, or even if you're just curious about your home's current value, send me an email. I'd be happy to help. Stay safe and thanks for watching.